Hi, it's Loz and Luke here again. We're just right across the road in the heart of District 3 of Ho Chi Minh City, right across the road from the War Museum, in a wonderful boutique shoe shop by Fugashin. They are a lovely boutique shoe builder based in Japan, but they have a shoe factory here in Ho Chi Minh City. And this is one of their flagship stores in town. It's definitely well worth checking out if you're looking for a lovely pair of shoes. They have a huge variety, Luke. I think we have a cheaper variety in the store, starting at about 1,500 Dom, which is around about $100 Australian, $70 US. These are not a Goodyear welt, but they are certainly a well-constructed shoe and great for the price. Certainly, I think anyway, a little more refined perhaps than most of the shoes that you'd find just off the rack in your general department stores.
Yeah, we've certainly found some good quality shoes here. We've looked at a few places around Ho Chi Minh City and they've been okay, but this is certainly the best we've come across. Lauren's done a bit of research. They've got a huge variety here. They do anything from, as Lauren was saying, entry level, starting about the 1.5 million, all the way up to 23 million.
Yeah,
so there's something here for everybody.
Which is considerable. That's like $1,500 Australian. We might just give you a little sample of things, but first, before we do that, I think we have a little sample here of what a Goodyear welt is. If you're really looking for a good quality pair of shoes, the Goodyear welt is definitely the way to go. Luke, maybe you might be better to explain the layers and the way that works here, where it's a fully stitched sole. Those in Australia will be familiar with the RM William boot. They obviously have a sewn sole. Goodyear welting is hand sewn or machine sewn, but it also...
And you can see the caulking that goes in between the two soles. And so what happens there is that as you wear them, the sole will actually mold perfectly to your feet. They're a much stronger sole, they're much more durable the way they're stitched together, as Lauren was saying. And we really think, and from what we've seen, in order to buy a good quality shoe that's going to last, a Goodyear welt is essential.
Definitely the way to go. And you can replace the soles, obviously, as you wear those out and get a new sole put on there. Often the uppers will last a lot longer than the sole of the foot. So that is certainly a great feature.
So we had an interesting experience in here yesterday. It was our first time coming in here after visiting the War Museum, which is directly across the road. And just across from here is a beautiful coffee store. But I was searching for a bit of a burgundy kind of shoe, and Lauren, what were you?
I was looking for something a little different. I mean, I'd love to get a nice Oxford cap. I think, do we have one here as a sample? Yeah, here we go. Here's an Oxford toe cap, and the beauty of these is you can really highly polish this front capping of the shoe. This particular one has a rubber sole, still sewn, you can see around the edging there, but a non-slip rubber sole, which I prefer, being legally blind. It's nice to have sure footing under the feet, so I quite like that type of sole myself. And the capping is great. They do have some really nice...
Here's a black cap.
Oh, here we go. Here's a lovely black cap. They have these in different qualities, so you can get them, I think as cheap as about 2.8 million Dom, which is certainly under $300. Often in most of the boutique shoe makers, you're looking, even like Allen Edmonds, Carmina, you're looking at $400 or $500 plus to actually purchase a Goodyear welted, leather sole, beautiful shoe. Fujifilm is certainly producing a quality shoe that sits right in that same market. Maybe even some of their range is even a little more affordable than that. Definitely worth checking them out.
Lauren's holding one that's 4.5 million Dom. The one I've got in my hand is 5.2. So as a comparison, you can see the main difference is in the quality of the leather. My ones have a little bit more of a shine, a little bit more of a gloss to them. But overall, it's got a similar last and shape. This one's got a rubber sole, whereas Lauren's one has a half rubber, half leather. But all of these things can be customized here. That I think is the real thing. They can do all sorts of different soles and lasts and colours and to your preference.
Do we have a cordovan shoe there, just to compare how the finishes are maybe a little different? So cordovan, for those who probably know about it, will know where it comes from. It's the rear hide or the rump part of the hide of a horse, but very, very durable material, quite sort of shiny and very durable. You can scuff these without them getting damaged like they would on a leather cowhide type shoe. So
this is a cordovan in a monk strap, which is kind of in a burgundy brown, you would say, and you can just see it's got that sort of, it's a little bit of a different kind of leather.
A little bit different texture. Like me being blind, I rely heavily on feel. It's probably got a slight, it's a thinner material, but yet has a certain stiffness to it, which means that it does tend to keep its shape a little bit, or it doesn't crease like a leather shoe does after a period of time, which is why a toe cap is good, because it keeps this front portion of the shoe a lot more pristine for longer. Whereas in a hole cut, you're more likely to get maybe some creasing across the middle of the shoe. Here we go. So this is the cordovan, yep. And they're a lovely shoe. They don't need quite as much care or polishing. In fact, I don't know, do I have one here next to me? Yes, I do. Here's a hole cut shoe here. So nice one big piece of leather with only one, well in this case it's got a strap up the back there. There are others that just have a simple stitching right through the back heel portion. This is not the most expensive. In fact, I can tell there's a little bit of broguing, which is a few holes that have been punched in subtly through the toe of this shoe to give it a little more casual style. I'll pop that one down. Someone's keen to go shopping. You can hear him bipping his horn. It's a crazy world out there in Saigon on the main street, that's for sure. Just a little bit of an idea too, Luke, we have a lot of different colours here, which I'm pretty impressed with the Fugashin shoes as well.
Can show them the shoe that you were looking at in the...
Yeah, is this it? So this is the blue.
That's the dark navy.
This is the dark navy, a beautiful dark navy. I'll just hold it to the light a little bit with a little bit more of a black tip. They've polished this tip up a little more, so it really does glisten for those who can see it. They do a more traditional navy, this dark navy, which I like. This buckle here is quite a nice style. This one here is a nice leather sole. You can see how they've nicely, what could you say, fluted through the mid section of the shoe here, and gives it just that little bit of elegance and style.
And what I'm holding is a hole cut shoe in a little bit of a lighter navy, a mid navy. And so what Lauren's actually been able to do here is he liked the colouring of this, where it gets a little bit darker on the toe there, but he wanted a hole cut shoe. And so he was actually able to request that.
And I also requested the more of a grip. I like the leather sole, the elegance of the leather sole, but without the slip. So they can put that rubber non-slip sole, just a very thin layer over that as well. So that can all be customised for about 8 million dom, which is about the $530 mark in Australian dollars. And what in US, I guess that's probably about 2/3 of that. So whatever that works out at, about $350 US maybe, or a little higher. They have really some lovely colouring here.
These are a bit exciting. What about
what
these
do we
ones?
have here? Let me see. Oh yes, we got the alligator. What are these?
These are the light green,
the Kermit
green.
Sort of colour green. But this is definitely their premium range. Pricing on these ones is 15 million dom, about $1,000 in Australian, which really for alligator skin is pretty good. I've seen other companies charging way more than $1,000 Aussie for this type of leather and finish. A beautiful hole cut shoe though. Here's what I was talking about, just the one stitching up the rear here, and a lovely, nicely balanced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is quite eccentric, of course, that you can get these in other colours. Black, you could do the midnight blue or a burgundy. We do have something else exciting there too. We got the ostrich there, I think, as well. Look, in a cap toe, they can do these in a whole cut and various styles as well. This one here, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shoelace holes on each side there, which means this is a very premium shoe. Again, is this 15 million?
Yep.
15 million Dom for ostrich. I can't believe the prices of this. This is very reasonable. It's a pity that shoe's a bit too small for me, but again, available through their custom build.
It's brown.
There we go.
It's a brown penny loafer.
Lovely penny loafers, this one too. You see just the refinement of these, just a lovely, well-made, Goodyear welted sole. Beautiful. You can just tell this leather's going to last. It's really quite a high-end quality leather. A little stiff, but I found that the key with these more expensive, well, they're not bespoke, but certainly a boutique type shoe, is when you buy a shoe that really fits, it's okay for it to be a little more stiff. It tends to last a little longer, keeps its shape. They do sell here some lovely shoe trees, quite inexpensive really. I forget what the pricing worked out on those, 700,000 Dom I think, which is about $50 Aussie, about $35 US, and very good. But just the refinement, feel this stitching through here. It's just very fine work around this area here. I'm assuming this stitching, I don't know what the stitch density is around the sole, but you can tell there's been some real attention to detail with these higher end shoes from Fugashin. So from what, essentially $100 through to your $300 range, $500 range, and then right up to about $1,000 in the boutique range. There's something for everybody here at Fugashin Shoes.
These ones are quite exciting. These are the ones that are a little bit caramelly, they sort of go a little bit forest green at the tip there.
So it's almost like what, sort of a burnished sort of a finish in a way. Look at this here too. They've really tapered this midline through here, and they've also produced this little bit of a, what could you say, a wedge or a through here, a bit of a support beam, almost you'd say, underneath here to give it strength, but yet this elegance. This elegant line, if I was to hold it sideways, you can probably see this lovely elegant waistline in through here, which I'm assuming would look quite smart with a nice pair of chinos or even a dress-up pair of pants. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at how nice and fine this finish is through here. I don't know what the pricing is on that shoe, Luke, but
15 million.
15, okay, yeah, this is still their high end. That to me feels like it could be cordovan.
It does feel like it, but I don't think it is. Just a high quality.
It certainly feels a little like that because there's that high quality, that little bit more stiffness, which is going to hold its shape, not get those creases across the midfoot here.
These are quite a nice sort of grey navy with a bit of broguing.
Okay, yeah, a little bit more style here. Got the cap, a bit of broguing, yeah, through here, through here. Lovely with a monk strap. I love the way, you know, I've seen some of the covers, this fluting around the edge through here as a lovely finish to the foot there. Comes back through the arch here, lovely finish on that. I noticed, Luke, when we looked at some of these other shops here in town that were making, you know, your tailor-made or your boutique-made shoes, the finish through here often was a little bit rough. You think, come on, spend just that little bit more time sanding this through, giving it a nice polished finish, which is what they've done here, certainly with the mid to upper range Fugashin shoes.
Certainly this shoe here as well is a nice chukka boot. It's in a sort of a light brown, almondy sort of colour.
Is this again a half sole?
Goodyear welt.
Half leather. Nice thin layer of rubber through here. Did we see one that had the metal tips too that we could show? But these chukka boots are lovely. I find these a little great sort of dress up, dress down. Great with jeans, great with chinos. And Luke's just going to find another. Was there one? I think there was, I forget which one it was now, that had the little brass or metal toe.
I mean, this one does
tip.
have one.
This one here, let's show that one there. This one here, oh, there we go, underneath here. Gee, and they've just made that so flush through there, just to protect the tip of the shoe. I think the shoes I'm ordering through Fugashin have this leather sole with the rubber non-slip sole and with the metal tip, just so that if I happen to kick the toe on something, it just protects that end for a little longer. They're a lovely finish, aren't they? You just feel the quality and the time that's been spent in putting these together. A little of elegance through here. See how they've really thinned this out, really narrowed this waistline. Again, with that extra support through the arch underneath here, just to give that strength and a little bit of stiffness through the shoe. We've got a good range. We've about covered everything, Luke. Have we got anything else interesting? I think we've shown you quite a range of styles, colours, price points.
If you're into a lot of broguing, this is a beautiful burgundy.
Yeah, wow, look at this. They've really gone all out here with the wingtip broguing through the front. Of course, this lovely double stitched heel cap, toe cap with the wing tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lace holes. This one does have a shoe tree. It's they have some, and these are actually what do they call them? A bending or a hinged shoe trees in here. Only $50 Aussie, 700 million dom. So do your own conversions when it's time to get some. But lovely way of keeping. Yeah, see how squashed is, and it just keeps its shape. When you're finished wearing your shoes, put the shoe tree back in, push it, fill the shoe so that it removes any creasing and allows it to breathe, and it doesn't shrink and change shape on you as it gets worn over the months and years that you own a lovely pair of shoes.
That's a nice, we haven't really looked at these ones much, but these are an alligator skin tassel loafer in kind of a mustardy yellow. They're about the 15 million. 15 mil, okay, so about $1,000. These they have some great top end shoes, don't they? Like you're saying, alligator, I've noticed with other companies, are significantly more expensive than $1,000 Australian or $700 US. So these are seem very good value. Again, the Goodyear welt, as you'd expect in a shoe of this quality. Plenty of women's shoes here as well. Good quality women's shoes, great leather. These ones here are a nice burgundy, around the 2.5 million mark. Nice little bit of cushion. What's that, about $160, $170 Australian. I'm getting used to the conversion rate now. We could easily spend a couple hours in here just exploring and looking at different options and colours and varieties. Taking a break across the road, having a coffee or thinking about it. And they've got a lovely cafe next door, very refreshing drinks, the Fugashin Cafe, lovely mango smoothies, guava smoothies, you name it. Some other lovely Italian spritz type drinks and that as well. It's certainly a lovely destination to come along and do a little bit of shopping and a bit of a refreshing morning or afternoon tea in the cafe next door. Thanks for joining us and persisting through the video. We hope this has been useful, and definitely look at Fugashin shoes if you're looking for a nice quality pair of shoes at a reasonable price.